Brianna, can you describe Chun-Li, this character, what she looks like in this latest footage, and in particular what her breasts look like?
Well, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? So you see her doing this hyper exaggerated like entrance pose, but her breasts are, it's like they're made of flubber almost. Like they're jiggling all over the place in a way that I think is meant to be provocative, but to be honest, it's kind of a little ridiculous and embarrassing for Capcom.
We were trying to all, as we watched it, and it's quite fascinating and not sexual, as you say, but trying to figure out what you could compare it to. I mean, their breasts, are they like helium balloons or silly putties? I mean, they're just flopping around all over the place in this bizarre way.
Yeah, maybe it's water. It's truly unnatural.
Now, why was this? Is it a joke? Could it possibly be an attempt to be sexy? What do you think is behind having created this particular segment of Chun-Li?
So, I want to tell your listeners, I am a game developer, and I'm also, I work with the animators all day long. So, I feel like I have an insider view on this. So, what we do in game development is sometimes we cheat animations by hooking controls up to it that simulate physics. So let's say if you're playing a game and you shoot a wooden crate, that is going to react differently than, say, if you shot a rubber tire. The weight of it is different. So what game animators have done is sometimes we add special controls to different parts of the body to simulate movement. A positive example of that would be hair in video games. So if you play the new Street Fighter game, you'll see Cammy's hair like flowing around as she's fighting, and that's a very positive thing. A kind of darker side to the industry is we sometimes tend to hook those controls up to things like, women's breasts. And, it's ostensibly meant to be convincing animation, but the truth is it's meant to be sexual in nature. So, when I see this, I believe someone at Capcom, along the way of developing this, basically turned up the settings on Chun-Li's breasts and made them, very, very jiggly. We call it jiggle physics in the industry.
So jiggle physics, or I guess someone's called it breast physics. So this was something you do try and make it appear natural, but to have made it so bizarre and unnatural would have been, someone would have to have done that deliberately, because they're saying it was just a glitch and they're going to correct it now.
Well, I have a lot to say about that. And again, I'm telling you, as someone that makes games and as someone that, does animation all day long, someone at Capcom deliberately made this animation. So it happens on the player 2 side and not the player 1 side. And I think the reason for that is someone came in with the first pass of animation, and obviously it's comical how terrible this is. And I believe someone came in and asked them to reduce it a little bit. And I think those changes ended up carrying over to player 1, but not player 2. I also think it's really important to note that Capcom has a really atrocious track record of doing this. They released a game earlier this year, it's Resident Evil Remake, where they had this exact same controversy. They had a really famous character, Jill Valentine. They hyper-exaggerated her breast jiggle, and, obviously women players of their games were a little bit frustrated by that.
We have spoken with female producers of video games before who have complained about how sexist the industry is, and that there are so many women who play, and that these things are just a giant turnoff for them. So how are people responding to this latest iteration of Chun-Li?
Well, it kind of follows a predictable formula. Women gamers look at this and we're like, come on, guys, we are between 46 and 52% of gamers these days, depending on which study you look at. We are here, we spend money on games. Can you please treat us with some respect? And then on the other side of it, you have kind of the very predictable minimizing that happens from both male developers and, male players. So they tell us we're being emotional. They tell us we're being too sensitive. They tell us, they like their video games exactly the way that they are. And I think most people even if they aren't gamers, can look at the way women are portrayed in games and understand something needs to change.
And you have seen even the darkest side of it because you have personal experience of the intense misogyny in the industry. You were one of a group of females who were attacked online. It's now called Gamergate. You had death threats and had to leave your home.
I have. I've had 106 death threats in the last 10 months. I was talking to the FBI about it on just Monday. Actually, before I went on the air with you, I'm sending them new evidence of a man in a skull mask who is talking about murdering me with a drill at my house. So yeah, I've definitely faced my share of it.
And that's because you spoke out about the sexism in the games?
Yeah, Gamergate they're a group that likes games exactly the way that they are. And, they're a bunch of men that feel like their culture is under attack. So, when women like me or Zoe Quinn or Anita Sarkeesian kind of turn a feminist lens on it and say, can we think about the message that we're sending players here? We're met with frankly, a reaction is completely out of proportion to what we're talking about here, which is video games. So it's truly a scary time to be a woman in the game industry.
Do you think that you'll get a big reaction similarly? It'd be even more of this kind of response since you're speaking out about this jiggle physics of Chun-Li?
It's kind of like a question like if I'll be able to catch more on fire. I'm already on fire. I get death threats. I get harassment all the time. And, it's sadly a part of my career.
Brianna, it's good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.